Hi guys, welcome back to the Ocean Flow Talk Show. Here we go as we flow and flow as we go. And if you don't know what we mean by that, you can definitely check out our first episode called The Devil Wears Many Masks to figure out what that means and what we mean by that. I'm so thankful you decided to tune in to this video. We're going to start diving into some things I feel and obviously I'm being led to speak about. So here we go. The topic of today's episode is actually going to be called Taking the Limits Off. I was actually inspired by my therapist this morning as we were having our conversation, and it just fit with our talk. So what do I mean by taking the limits off? Taking the limits off of yourself. This whole world is full of limits and filled with limits. We should have limits to some things, but definitely taking the limit off ourselves, off of how we portray ourselves, how we act, what we do, becoming comfortable with being uncomfortable. So this morning I was kind of very emotional. I was in my head. I actually read a scripture because a lot of times it's hard being different for me, or being that standout, or being the one that can walk in a room and instantly take it over, which is a grand thing. But a lot of times I don't think people understand what the feeling that doesn't understand the feeling that comes with being different, the feeling of loneliness, the feeling of being like a cast out, being that black sheep, being the one that doesn't really fit with the status quo, or being the one that doesn't really fit in with the norm, or corresponds to what type of family you have. You're always the one that your family picks on, but not really picks on per se, because you don't do things the way they do it. One thing she said that really stuck out was people living in dysfunction is not going to consider your functional, if that makes sense. So, and I hope I said that right. So people living in dysfunction aren't going to agree with your functional because they're living in dysfunction and they don't know what functional looks like. So it's hard for them, and that's where changing perspectives, getting a new insight on life. I was explaining to her, once upon a time, this isn't who I was. I wasn't comfortable with being different. I wasn't comfortable with being by myself. In the previous video, I talked about how right now I am in a stage of isolation. God has isolated me. He has literally separated me from all the things that I thought was for me. Wasn't. He revealed to me the things that wasn't for me, and it hurt. It hurt really bad, actually, because these were people that I've known for years. These were people that I would take the shirt off my back for. These were people that I've given to. These were people that I've loved. These were people that I've given them a place to lay their head. I've given them all types of things, and I don't regret it, by any means, because there was also a scripture I read today where it was like, you must help those when they need help, no matter what. And we should not condemn anyone, neither one of our brothers or sisters, based on the actions or the decisions that they make in their own waking life. If you don't know, I'm telling you now, I don't eat meat. And that seems to be a very obviously unnormal thing for most people. Most people don't understand, especially my family. That is a huge thing that they love to talk about and always bring up. And yes, it can be very annoying because at this point, I'm like, y'all know I don't eat meat. Stop trying to force it in my face. Why I don't eat meat, it literally hurts me to eat meat. I'm not trying to influence you not to eat meat. Again, I cannot condemn you for something you do, because whatever, just like in Romans 12, I believe that's what I read this morning. Whatever you choose to do, what is right for you, whatever works for you is basically what that said. And I cannot judge you. I cannot persuade you differently, because you must listen to your own body. You must understand yourself enough, your inner self enough, to know when your body reacts to certain things and what you need to change to fix that type of reaction. That's just like, you'll get that butterfly feeling. I know a lot of us talk about the butterfly feeling, and we've all associated the butterfly feeling with it being like, ooh, I like that person, or that's that flirty feeling. Well, I'm here to break the news to you. The butterflies in your stomach is not saying that that is a person you should be with. It is actually warning you that that is not the person you want to be with. So as we take these things into consideration, it really bothers me, I guess. I know it bothers me at times to know that I am different, but I know what I'm here to do now. I know what my purpose is. And taking a look at it, when I first even, as a child, when I first even began to move forward in life, I told myself that no matter what anyone said about me, no matter how much of a standout I was always going to make it a duty to be different. Because if you're not different and you're just like everyone else, how are you going to stand out? What's going to make you different from that person so that other people, you may have a business. Your business is going to have to be different than most businesses. Like I have a lash business, so my lashes has to look different than everyone else's lashes so that I can get the clientele I, will receive. So that can be that standout. And that has always been my goal. And I just think that those are I just had a lot of past traumas and emotional traumas come up. And, that's what this isolation period is about. This isolation period is about me self-reflecting, healing that past hurt, healing the pain from my past, and feeling it, not dismissing it. My therapist tells me all the time, like, if you start to cry, let it out, because those are things that need to come out. And the best way to let emotions and feelings out is to cry. Like, every time I cry, I feel such a relief afterwards. So if you ever start to cry, if you cry during or tear up during any of my videos because you feel what I feel or what I am saying, cry. Boo-hoo, baby. I can hear you through the phone, boo-hoo. I don't care. Like, cry. It is necessary. Men, cry. Like, stop trying to be a hard body, because we all got masculinity and femininity. I think I said that right. In us. They have to be at a balance, okay? So, yes, cry. I ain't saying be this, soft body, but I'm saying cry, okay? You still gotta have that tough shell too. So going backwards, this isn't who I've always been, meaning I haven't always been comfortable with being alone. That is hard. That is hard for a lot of people, because the feeling of loneliness is sad most of the time. I've actually been happy majority of the time, besides today. Because I just, again, those emotions just came about, but I let it all out. I released it. I let it go. I'm actually going to do, today when I journal, I'm going to write just everything that I still feel something about from my past. I'm going to write it all down, and I'm either going to burn it or I am going to tear it up. And I know it's going to work for me because I've done it once for a past relationship and it worked wonders. So I'm going to do that again, but instead I'm going to do it for everything that I still feel pain about in my past. I forgive myself. I forgive everyone who has hurt me. I forgive my family. I forgive anyone who I thought was my friend and turned out not to be. I forgive every man that has ever wronged me. I forgive everyone, and I forgive myself for putting myself through those things when, you know, I'm taking accountability for my own actions, because I got those red flags. They were always there, and I chose to ignore them. So also during this self-reflection period, I'm working on listening to my intuition, that first voice, the first, like, when I tell you, when you actually pay attention to yourself, this is crazy. I took a picture right before I started this video, and this is why it is so important to be present. So on this shirt, when I bought it, for one, lately I've been really intentional with everything that I do. So for one, this caught my eye because it says 1977. So what really caught my eye was the 77. I don't know if you can see, but I have 777 tatted on me. This is my number. I actually started my business on 77 as well. One of my businesses. So I plan to start every business on 77. I pray to fully. But so I got food on my shirt. So this is In the Flesh tour. So as I'm posting my picture, I'm like, what is in the flesh? Like, because I'm already concerned, because I also am mindful of the things that I wear, because words mean a whole lot. So in the flesh actually means being physically present, and that's so necessary. And that is actually something I'm working on, is being physically present, putting away the phone necessarily, not bogging down into social media all the time, just being fully here right now, not looking back to my past, because obviously every time I look back to my past, I become emotional, and then I start thinking negatively, and negative feelings and emotions and thoughts is only going to bring you negative outcomes. So being present is going to allow you to move forward and to be in the right now and feel what you feel right now. So love it. Eventually I'll dive deeper into my 777. I also have a tattoo on the back of my arm, which I'll show y'all in another video of a dragonfly, and I'll give you insight on what that means as well. I'm getting chill bumps, which is telling me that everything I'm talking about right now is confirmed. Anywho, that's also with listening to your body and the way that it moves and talks to you, your spirit rather. So okay, so we're going back. So I didn't used to be the one that could actually be comfortable enough walking into the room alone. I felt like I always needed somebody to walk with. This could be you. Like, I always felt like especially if I was meeting someone, I never could just go in and wait on them by myself. I needed them to like wait on me and we go in together, type thing. It was a thing where I felt, this is how I know it was more so of an ego thing. And during this period of isolation as well, I've gone through an ego death. So, an ego thing. What I mean by that is, I think I was looking at it selfishly. So I wouldn't go into the room because I didn't like the attention I was receiving. Again, because I am different, because I am a high vibrational person, because I do give off light, a lot of light. And I'm learning who I am. So I know that I just attract a lot of people. A lot of times people can instantly just pour out their life stories to me. They just, I make friends anywhere, and that is why I'm loving to be solo now. I am interested in the experiences. I'm interested in meeting new people and networking. You never know who you could come across. So now, instead of looking at it like, I don't want to go in first because I'm finna get all this attention and that's aggravating, and I don't want nobody to talk to me, and that's weird. I was being weird. So, and there's nothing wrong with being weird. I was being funny. But now I'm like, when I go into a place, I'm looking forward to meeting new people. I'm looking forward, I'm not looking at it as me receiving attention. Now I'm looking at it as I'm spreading love to someone and someone is spreading their love to me. I'm meeting my new brothers and sisters. I'm creating connections. I am having a good time. I'm not worried about what everybody else thinks about me. I am confident in who I am. Let's say it together. I am confident in who I am. I love me. I love me so much now that I look in the mirror every day and we kiss. Yes, I kiss me because I love me. And I just think with all that I went through, I just had so much pain and so much hurt that I didn't really know was inside of me that I needed to release so I could feel the joy that I feel now. Okay, so I love it here. That's why I don't want to go back. Like, being alone, when you really enjoy who you are, when I tell you there is so much peace. I actually I write poems here and there, so I had started a poem the other day, and I started off by I be putting like Bible scriptures in my poems a lot of times, and I had started off by saying, asking you shall receive, but don't ask for me. What you need is peace, and you ain't taking my peace from me. So you can't take it. So, and just know, when you do start healing and when you do decide to move forward, the devil gonna come, because he knows that now you're walking in your purpose. You chose what team you decided to be on, because God's team. I hope and pray that you're choosing God's team, because the devil gonna do nothing but kill, steal, and destroy you. And I pray that we all want to make it to the kingdom of heaven. Okay? Since I am God's child and I am chosen. But I pray that, again, when you see this video, you learned a lot, you took a lot, and you got to feel a little piece of me. This is literally a vulnerable talk show. Like, this is me at the most vulnerable state. This is really who I am. I'm not faking it. I'm not making stuff up. You get to experience my wisdom that I've gotten from my experiences, which is a whole lot. We got a whole lot to talk about. So, I love you. Remember that you are love, you are light, you are peace, you are powerful, you are God's beloved, and he will never leave nor forsake you, no matter what you are going through on your journey. And all you have to do is ask, and you shall receive. I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we hope and pray you are looking forward to the next video. I'm about busting my tail.